Welcome back to the Brawl to End It All, where it is monsters. We've randomly matched up 32 monsters, and you voted on the winners. And today, we're checking out 8 contestants for Division 4 in order to move on to the next round. I'm your host, Josh Spiegel, and today I'm joined by the mysterious El Luchaboochie.
Oh, I am so very excited to be here. It's so good. I love monsters. I love fighting. So seeing some monsters fighting is exactly geared to tickle my pickle.
Indeed, so let's get to tickling. Our first matchup is between a couple of guys straight from the stars, and in this corner a fungus is among us as we're dealing with the parasitic alien from the movie Splinter. Now, conceptually, this thing is more of a disease than a central entity, so we're looking at the final form of it as the splintery, spiky things completely take over a human being and turn him into a deadly Picasso. Now, here's what this thing does. It's covered with these little spikes, which it kind of stabs into you, and they kill you and make you into one of them.
That splinty thing is facing the hungry beast from the movie Terror Vision, and let me tell you, he looks stupid, and I know all about things that look stupid, but don't let his goofy appearance drop your guard, because he's a formidable, he's a tough foe.
He does look a little stupid.
He is a dum-dum, but pretty tough. He kills people and can imitate their forms, including their voices, has some limited teleportation abilities, and this ability to create a sort of a tornado vortex thing that sucks you in harder than the first season of Golden Girls, and he has this extra eyeball to be able to spot you better.
Well, I would have thought that this would be a closer fight, but it looks like this splinter creature is able to use its infectiousness to its advantage, penetrating the hungry beast's hide and taking him over from the inside, winning the battle with 74% of the vote against the hungry beast's 26%. This next battle worked out well because keep in mind that these matchups were randomly drawn, but I can't think of a better combination than Turok versus Belial.
It's short and stubby versus gnarled and knobby.
So on one side we have Turok from the movie Troll.
Not a goblin?
No, he is assuredly not a goblin, but he does have some intense magical abilities, including some reality warping skills and a handy weapon in this needle ring, which, when jabbed into you, turns you into a fantasy hallucination.
I myself have been jabbed with needles like that.
This isn't that kind of jab.
Speaking of jabs, Belial from the Basket Case movies has a mean one. This little guy may have no legs, but he makes up for it with some unusual maneuvering, not to mention some strong offensive capabilities with the use of those claws of his, which seem capable of tearing people apart with one swipe.
Just to be clear, Belial does not have access to the power loader in this matchup.
I'm pretty sure he's not gonna need it.
I'm pretty sure that you're right, since as we've seen in the films, Belial can actually handle himself in a fight against some pretty formidable opponents, whereas Turok relies on deception and uses others to fight his battles for him. And when it comes down to one-on-one, Belial takes the day with 70% versus 30%. Most of our battles have been between bad mother...
Don't you say that.
But this one is between a pair of literal mothers.
I haven't called my mother in 13 years, and it breaks my heart every day.
Okay, in this corner over here we have the queen alien from the movie The Faculty. This lethal lady is pretty big with more tentacles than you can shake a Yurotsukidoji at and can move effortlessly both out of water and in. She has a bunch of human minions as well, although no access to them in this fair one-on-one fight, and her weaknesses include being dried out with no water and being injected with drugs.
El Lucha can relate.
That is your second drug joke this episode? Are you okay?
Her opponent is the final form of zombie Vera from Dead Alive, or Brain Dead depending upon your country, and she is big and naked. Her massive strength allows her to smash through walls and tear jerky relatives' heads off, as she demands a well-maintained frontage.
So even though Vera has a distinct size ability, the Queen has the speed, and our big zombie's limited ability is her downfall. And the Queen takes her out in what is most likely some spotty morphing effects with 76% of the vote versus 24%.
Mama, I miss you.
The final face-off of this division kicks it old school and super cool, as our first brawler is the Metaluna mutant from the classic film This Island Earth. Probably one of the most recognizable monsters of all time. This guy is tall and has a thick exoskeleton like an insect. His main weapon for offense are his lobster-like claws that are his entire hands. Like, how does he hold a fork? And his great strength.
You're not going to mention the giant exposed brain?
No need.
He has massive exposed brain right there, out in the open.
And
well, he's facing one of the Judas breed from the movie Mimic, and the guy does not have a big vulnerable brain just sitting on the top of his head, but he is essentially a giant cockroach with pinchers and mandibles. I mean, these guys have a limited ability to fly. They can cloak themselves, and you know, they could have a human disguise.
which really won't help in an arena, I should add.
No, it will not. But you know, since they're insects, they also have a thin insect exoskeleton, very tough to pierce, and again, no exposed brain.
It looks like, just like in real life, cockroaches prove to be incredibly hard to kill, as the Judas breed wins this one with 77% of the vote versus the mutants' 23%.
Out of curiosity, how did it win the fight?
Oh, it stabbed him in the big brain. So that wraps up Division 4, closing out this round and eliminating our first wave of combatants. Let's take a look at that bracket. We'll be back very soon with the next round to see who advances to take the Monster Brawl crown, or trophy, or whatever. Because I don't think we can have a crown. There's too much head size variation here.
Now's your chance out there, though. Subscribe right here to make sure that you don't miss anything, and punch the like button and smack around a few of those letter keys until they look like something resembling a comment. And please. Call your mom.